The guy living at 2351 County Road 72 is the first person that calls it, and I can't find his address. And opposed to getting to it when it was a tenth of an acre, now I get to it when it's 10 acres and the wind's on it, I'm losing.
Yeah.
The faster I can find the RP and the faster I can get to the location we need to be to, the faster we can get the assets we need to the fire on the fire.
Plus, if there's smoke in the air, if it's thick with smoke, you're gonna be able to see that address sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just, for me, I mean, and for a lot of people here at least in Woodside,
Wait, don't be interrupted.
you know, there are a lot of older people. Sure. And I have sold as many signs just so people could be found in case of an emergency, and I've had at least half a dozen people say to me, I had a heart attack and the ambulance couldn't find me. They kept driving back and forth in front of my house until somebody flagged them down. I don't want to be in that situation. So, you know, selfishly, I want to be able to find people when I need to go to their house. And it's just a logical thing to do. After we did our presentation at Elk Creek Highlands, I sold 30 of these. So I hope I sell at least as many to you guys, and just, you know, when people start seeing them, we have quite a few of them up in Woodside now. Because that's where obviously I've been focusing, but I've been selling outside of Woodside now. And people see them and they ask their neighbor, where did you get your sign? And I'll give you my email address, my name, my email address. You have it on your sign-in sheet, but all I need is your road number or your house number and some way to get in touch with you. Phone number, whatever. I'm going, here, let me,
Do you use those old fire signs at all?
No, but don't get rid of them, they're really cool. We don't use fire numbers
you
anymore.
need to give me
And the
your
reason that we
name
don't
and
use
address. fire
fire numbers anymore is you could probably give me any address in this room and I can slam it into my phone
Great.
and Google Maps will get me there.
Yeah.
Fire numbers are great
Oh, it is.
If we're looking for an affected area, because a fire number usually encompasses like that many houses. You know, there are 8 people sitting at that table, so it's going to encompass about 8 homes.
Okay.
Which is if there's a fire in the area, that's pretty cool. If there's a heart attack in the area, I got a 1 in 8 chance of being right.
Yeah.
Let's start knocking on doors and see which one I need to be at. But keep them. I love them. I think the historical value of those things are amazing, and we still use our old paper maps. The fire numbers are reflective on an old paper map that we have, and we still utilize those. Don't throw them out the window, but we don't necessarily use them to locate people.
So I can put that inside underneath my fire number that's still out,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep.
Does it need to be a certain height or anything, or?
I like to see them
what's-
about 3 to 4 feet off the ground. You
Okay,
know, think of the deepest snow that we get around here
yeah,
at one dump.
well, I didn't know if there was a, you know, a better, yeah.
Yep. And they can either be attached to a metal T-post or to a 4x4 wooden post. Be careful when you go to put them in. Make sure you know where your gas lines are that come in and out of your property. I would almost encourage you to, I'm not joking, call before you dig. And digging includes taking a metal post and jamming it into the ground. If you go through the gas line or through a fiber optic, you get a pay for it. So,
Joe, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Do you issue permanent burn permits?
Our burn permit program, the way that it currently works, they're a no-charge burn permit, one-time issue. They are issued either to the renter or to the property owner. And if you are a property owner that rents property and you don't want your renters to have it, spell that out in your lease. Make sure they know that. I'm never going to know it because I'm going to get somebody that comes in and they're like, hey, I live over on County Road 72, blah, blah, blah address. I want a burn permit. I'm going to write them. I don't know anybody.
But they are permanent. You
They
don't
are
have to
permanent.
renew them.
Correct. I'm currently in the works with our district board trying to renew our burn permit process and change it. Some people will like this, some people may hate this. My thought process is what I would like to do is attach a small fee to it, and I'm talking nominal, And what I'm wanting to do is, if you apply for a burn permit at your property, I come out and I make a site visit. I approve a burn permit site on your property. Because inevitably, what we have people do is they build it right underneath the tree, and then we have a problem or right next to their house. What we would do is I would come out and I would approve a burn permit site. You would construct the burn area there. I'd come back out, sign off on it, take a GPS location of that burn permit, and put it into our mapping program. That way, if in 5 years I come back out and you're not burning up underneath the tree that I told you don't do that, I can hold you accountable for that. But that's a ways out. I gotta get approval from the district on that.
Yeah, they need to be at the end of your driveway. They have to be installed, preferably on a metal post where you just bolt them on. They're pre-drilled in all four corners. So what you do is just take a bolt and put them right through the, a nut and bolt, right through onto the metal post. A lot of people, though, are putting them on wooden posts that they have their mailbox on or the end. You know, the only issue with that is that wood burns.
Sure.
And that's why a metal post is better. But I'd rather have it up on a wood post than not up at all.
I've seen them hung both ways too, either vertically or horizontally.
Yes,
I
and I
think
will make
either
it,
way
I
is
can make it
acceptable.
vertical or horizontal, however you like. I've had with several orders of both. But the numbers will go this way and they'll be in the middle instead of offset. They're offset on both sides so that they stick out from your post.
Yep.
Okay.
But definitely, I've had some people put them up like this. And you want to put them so that you see them from both directions on the road.
Out of
So-
everything our county has done in the history of my 20-year career with the fire district, that is the best thing our county has ever required people to do, because I can now find people.
But the other thing is that so many of our homes are grandfathered.
Yep.
And don't have anything that will generate a requirement for a permit in one of these
I
sections.
should see this as a good sort of first step for FireWise, for getting those homes interested, right?
Oh,
Like
for
this,
sure.
this is nothing, like you're not
This
asking
is
to cut
huge.
trees and do all this stuff, this is your first little baby step and a little taste, and then
Yeah.
we go from there.
Yeah, it really is. And, oh, Joe, would it be all right if, when I have everybody's done that was here, if I just drop them off at the fire station and you can come by and pick them up? Because I started out this program by delivering them individually to everybody. Now, that's fine if it's in Woodside because that's small, but once it's expanded all the way out to Bailey and everything, I could spend a half a day.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking
So-
about this fire station?
Just fire station
Yeah,
over
just,
here.
Joe's fire station right over here.
That's fine.
Great.
And then in one of two ways we can handle it. You know, you could either, everybody can swing by the station, I'll pick them up with me, or you could have one person come by and get them all to one person. It's up to you guys.
Joe, I have a question for
Yeah.
you. When I was still an insurance agent, happened to be one of the firefighters who had moved into a new house, and the insurance company was declining him because he had 2 trees really close to his house. And then nothing else for 35, 40 feet.
Right?
We got the insurance company to accept it by
Yep.
what he called the bubble of defensibility.
Yep.
Does that still work? My house has one tree that the deck is built around that's this far off my house and nothing else.
Here's how I explain NFPA standard 1144. I'll come out and show you on your own property and it'll make sense. But let's say the rectangle is the footprint of a house. You've got a tree that's within 15 feet of that house and you're like, I'm not cutting it down. My husband proposed to me under that tree. My kid fell out of the tree, broke his arm. Whatever the reason, I really don't care. You want to keep it. Okay, as opposed to using the rectangle of the house as the perimeter, I use that tree and then we go 15 feet from the tree as opposed to 15 feet from the house. So the tree is included in the perimeter of the house. I can defend a tree in a house. It's not impossible. I can't defend a forest at a house. So there has to be some give and take in there, and I'm willing to work with people on it.
All right, well, I
Is
appreciate
our
your
sign
time.
thing still getting passed around? Okay.
Okay, and I appreciate you guys coming in.
Well, there's one other thing I'd like to share with you. One of the things that we look at is, you know, it doesn't do us any good if we got every home mitigated, every subdivision mitigated, and the county road right-of-ways are not mitigated. So we got a fire going and our roads are in flames. And it's kind of a gray area. It wasn't on the radar of the county in any way. But 43 is one example, one way in and out, 2,100 homes, 5,000 residents, several places along that road where the road could just be stopped. You have the same situation on 72, just up the street here on Rosalie Road where it goes for that S-turn. You get a fire going in there, nobody's getting out. So one of the things our organization has done and is doing is we've gotten the county to agree to sign a memorandum of understanding with Platte Canyon Fire, so Platte Canyon Fire can do the mitigation in the road right-of-ways because they've got the crew, they've got the equipment, they know where the choke points are, they know how to cut a tree down, they have the skill sets to get the job done. What we don't have are the funds to do that. So our organization will, at some time in the near future, start a crowdfunding effort to basically get the funds together so they can start looking in the critical points in our county road right-of-ways and start getting those exit ways in the event of an emergency cleared so that vehicles can get in and out. So, last point. Thank you very much.
Hey, Jim, you asked about some advertisement. I'll leave those with you. They're door hangers. Basically goes over the Ready, Set, Go program. If anybody wants to go out and put those up, get those out to folks. There's a handful of extra backpacks that I left here. And then if anybody's, one last thing I'll give you, if anybody's interested in having me come out and doing a property assessment, let me give you my phone number.
Yeah.
I have cards, holy cow. But
Can I have one?
the phone number that I want you to use on this, I'm only in the office 2 days a week, is my cell phone number. And my cell phone number, if you got a pen, it's 303.
Wait a minute, my phone's missing.
It's all right.
303.
548 0854. And Jim, if you want to make that available to everybody, that's fine. It's a district phone. So if you guys need to get in touch with me, questions based on today, I can get you in touch with John or with Kathy, or if there are questions I can answer for you, feel free to get in touch with me. That's my job, and that's my duty to you folks. So thank you.
I'm gonna put his cards up at on the table here.
Joe, can you repeat that number one more time, please?
303 548 0854.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what I'm gonna do is just take a recess for 5 minutes. Anybody gotta go to the restroom or whatever, and if you don't wanna stay for the meeting, you won't hurt my feelings. But, cause I know this crew don't really wanna stay, but, we'll start up at, let's say about, 15 minutes till, so.